So we're in geometry and we're doing constructions. And this should be just the constructions that have to do with your test 9. So we're going to do the quizzes that most of them are on the test here and show you how to do these. So get your quiz out and we'll show you how to do it. It's actually in your book on certain pages. And we're talking about proportions. So quiz 36, page 2. So first of all, you can look at this. I kind of have it done already. I did this video and then the video wasn't on, so I'm just going to show you how to do it. So basically, you're going to construct the fourth proportional to the 3 given line segments. What's the fourth proportional? Well, look at here. A is to B as C is to D, and D would be the fourth proportional, right? So A to B equal C is to D. So this is the fourth proportional. So we want to construct a line that's going to be proportional to A and B as C. So C is going to be proportional to A and B is to C. So the first thing you're going to do, and I'm going to kind of go over this a bit, you're going to draw a line. So get your thing out and just draw a straight line, one straight line. And from that straight line, like I drew it there, you are going to take your compass. So make sure you have your compass. You need a compass and a straight edge is all you need. I'll do this quickly because I want to get these all done. So I'm going to take the compass and I'm going to make it small enough here to show how long this segment is. So a little smaller. So here we have that segment. And I'm going to mark off that segment here. So I marked it off here. See where I marked it off? And so then I'm going to do the next segment. Make your compass a little smaller. B is smaller than A. Still a little smaller. Okay, there we go. And so now I'm going to go from where I put that point and I'm going to mark off B there. So, which I marked off again right there. So then I'm going to label, which I did before. I labeled A and B. Sorry, I wrote kind of scribbly. So this is A and that is B. So A is going to be this long of a segment and B is going to be this long of a segment, okay? So now I basically you take another and just draw another line. You can draw how you want, but you know, kind of like similar lines so you don't have to do any, you know, big thing here. So I just took this line and it doesn't matter where you draw it really, but you draw this line. See how I drew that line? Okay, from that point, you're going to take your compass now, as these lines are not here, right? So basically you're going to, well, before you take the compass, you're going to take this here where you have line O. Before we do this, on this line you're going to measure out C. So, measure out C. So I'm going to take that line and I'm going to measure out C right here. So I have C. So let me, your line here, you're going to have C here, and you have A here, and you have B here, right? Okay? And so then you're going to take your straight edge, and you're going to, from the end of A, from the end of A to your line where you went through right here, and to C. There you do. You draw. Now we gotta have, this line's not here yet, right? So now we have to draw this line. So how are you gonna draw that line? Well, you're gonna have to measure out because they have to be, the angles have to be parallel lines. So the next thing you do is take your compass here. Let's see, I must make it the right side. It doesn't really matter what size it is here, but you're gonna basically draw an angle here. So I drew an angle there. That one's kind of right there, and I'm going to draw that same angle here. And then I'm going to measure that angle. It has to be the same length. Measure it, it has to be exactly the same length. Right there. Can you see how I'm measuring it? Measuring it right there. Okay? All you can see is my hand, huh? So I'm measuring it like that. So I measure it, and then I come over here, and I'm measuring this, and this has to be the same length. And from that length, I'm going to put my point and then write an X here. So now I measured both of those. And so in measuring those then, we know here's the point, the end of point B, and here's where I measured. And so then I'm going to put a line there. So this line has to be parallel to this line perfectly. And that's what it is. So now we know, see if I can tell you this, of course. Let me get a regular pen because it looks like I kind of messed it up here. So this is going to be, this is A, right? And this is B, and this is C, and this is D. And D here is going to be our fourth proportional, right? So you're going to have lines here where you measured out the directions, this A and B and C, we measured those out, and then we put a line there, and then we just have to draw another line that is parallel with the B. So A is proportional to, AB are proportional to CD. So A to C and B to D, and D is our fourth proportional, okay? So that wasn't too bad. So let's go on. Sorry I had to go over it again because I did it and I wasn't even recording, so hopefully my recording will work this time. So now, let's see if we got it all centered on here. Okay, I'm gonna read it first, then I'm gonna move it over so we can do it. So it says, construct the mean proportional between the two given segments, okay? So let's move it over and I'll show you what a mean proportional is. So right here it says, it's in Theorem 61.1. Basically says, if a perpendicular is dropped from any portion of a circle, so we're going to use a circle, on a diameter, the perpendicular is the mean proportional between the segments of the diameter. So basically this is going to be a circle, but we're only going to use half the circle. This is the diameter of the circle. And so first of all, to make sure that this circle, as we draw this, we have a center in this circle, right? So we have to mark the center in that circle so we know what it is. It's kind of important. And then we take A and B, we measure those distance out, and then we can drop a perpendicular to that, and that perpendicular will be the mean, okay? So the first thing I started to do here on my other video that I tried to make is to measure these out. And so let's measure these out. Let's make sure I have them on the, there we go. So now you can see everything, okay? So we're gonna measure these out. Take your compass, a little bit bigger. So right there, that's about the measure. So we're gonna take that measurement, and actually let's do B first. Let's erase these lines because I did them out opposite, okay? So we take this and we measure right here. So we put our mark there. Whoops. I'm having a hard time with my compass for some reason. It needs more, the lead's kind of like not good. So put it tight there and do there. There we go. So this is A. Now we need to do B. Much bigger, so I'm going to open my compass much bigger. Just going to make it like that. Bigger, bigger, bigger. You may not have a compass that moves like mine, but so there we go with B. So now you're going to stick where A is, and we're going to mark B right there. Okay? That's just measuring. Measuring is not too hard. But now, in the midst of that, we want to do a circle. And so let's do a circle with our compass. Basically, we want to find the center point, right? Well, so to find a center point, actually, we need to do to find a center point, but we need to do a perpendicular line to find a center point. So let's do it. I was gonna try to do it a number way, but it's not the right way. So here we go from here, and then we go from here. So you got a perpendicular point there, then we could do the bottom. I always do that, we have to do the bottom too. So you go to from here, from that point to here. So now we have, basically, let's make that a little longer so you can see the way they intersect right there. So now we can, so we do that perpendicular point. See how it did in this, here the draw for the center. You gotta find a perpendicular center first. So you draw the center. Let's go ahead. You're not gonna really have to measure that towards the bottom, but you put it like this, where the perpendicular is, where the X's meet. Remember the perpendicular, you should know how to do perpendiculars, then you know how to do about anything here. So, so that center is gonna be right there. I'm gonna draw it down on like that. So that's the perpendicular. So that's gonna be our center. So we know where the center is, okay? So now let's go back. We got the center, and now we can draw the circle, you know? So make your compass to go meet the B there. Now we just go, ooh, okay, you guys, you watching? I don't know if you can see this with my hands in the way, hopefully not. So basically, you saw what I did with the compass. I drew, not the whole circle, I could just draw the half. You can draw the whole if you want, but that is a circle there. So now we know that, you know, is basically, right now, that's the center of the circle, and this is the circle, right? You can go on and draw the whole circle if you like. You know, in fact, let's kind of draw the circle so we know that's a circle, right? Not just a half a circle, but like that, okay? So now, basically any perpendicular, so you just draw another perpendicular, but it has to be in the circle. So I can make it smaller. So a perpendicular to the circle. So here you can draw another perpendicular to the circle in the midst of A and B, the measurements of A and B. So it has to be right where, remember this is segment A and this is segment B. So this is A and this is B. So we have to draw in the midst of that. The best to draw to make the proportion right is that we have to draw from the perpendicular, basically at this point from A to B, okay? So to do that, at that point, we're just going to, here's A, we're going to draw it right here. Or in the midst, let's see, okay, and so then we're going to go over to A to B, draw another perpendicular. Here's the A perpendicular this way. Okay, and then so we can actually drop the point in the midst of that. You know, before we do this, it's kind of important that I didn't do it. Let's erase this here because it's kind of going to make us off. So here's our point, A and B. This is the point. So before we do this, let's make a circle around that point. So go ahead, I'm going to make it small, make it a little bit like this. So here's the point, there's that point, and so here's this point on this side. You see where those 2 points are? And so now that we have those 2 points, we can do the perpendicular, okay? So now let's make it a little bigger so we just have to see it better. So now, we have da-da that way. Then we go this way, da-da this way. Okay, and then we go to the bottom here, this way, and then this way. So you're going this way, and then this way. You go from these 2 points because they're equal from that point. So now you're going to draw perpendicular from that point. Oops, didn't draw it very good there. From that point. Okay, there we go. It's a little better. Here, let's draw it with the pink. Okay, and so that actually is the answer. So looks kind of cool, doesn't it? If you can do that. So since I put the A, see this other one up here, this one was opposite. They measured out the B and the A so that the perpendicular was on that side. But this one is, I did the A first and the B is. So this is the perpendicular mean proportional right here between those two. Perpendicular mean proportional. Okay, so let's go on to this constructing the similar polygon to the given polygon with the given sides. Okay, so this is we're going to do is basically do a lot of different angles. So let's show you how we do this one. Sorry, I'm going to where it's supposed to be. Here we go. Okay. So anyway, I don't have this lined up. It's kind of like, hopefully it's lined up so you can see it, right? I don't want it to be off the paper. So let's see. Okay. So construct the similar polygon to the given polygon with sides A and corresponding sides. So here you're going to have to make a line first. So let's make a line here. Sorry, we're going to make a line right here. So make your line. That's what I did there. So we'll see how this does. My line should have probably been a little bit lower, but anyway. And so let's measure out. I hope you can see the line. You know, I'm going to stop here because my phone needs to be charged and I think it's going to run out. So let's just stop and then I'll go on and finish this with the other construction.